who you don't like. It has nothing to do with it. And when
Who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day. While the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor, he was telling you to build your own house.
Ooh, ooh. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. We are still testing this new YouTube studio software, so we apologize for anything that you cannot hear as we test and tweak it out. We're going to make it do what it do. Welcome to the Thursday night edition of the No PC Show. You know, we haven't been talking about it a lot, but I had a few things that I did want to talk about with the COVID-19 situation, as we have so many people rushing back to, as I like to say, rushing to death. It apparently has hit home with a lot of our people out here in the world that are in situations similar to what black folks are in for the majority of the time we are in this country. As they say, if America catches a cold, we got the flu, we got pneumonia. And so now, as everybody's in the situation of how I'm going to pay my rent, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that, things are getting real, and people are panicking. You know, there's a lot of people out here like, oh, don't worry about that, coronavirus. We got to get out here and make this money, whether people die or not. And there are being things put into situations such as if your company does open back up and you decide that you don't feel safe about going back to work, you don't have a choice whether to be safe or not, because you're not going to have a job and you're not going to get unemployment. This is what the government is doing. The stimulus checks, that one check that everybody is getting, be careful with that, because you may not get the full amount based on your tax returns. If you made over a certain amount, they will short you. And through shorting you, they will ascertain that you made this much money. So now we need to penalize you and take a little bit of money away, not caring whether you need that money or not, no matter how much you made, but you made too much. So instead of the $1,200, you might get the $600. that's the way it goes. And then if you still owe, then that's on you. They don't have time for that. I'm sitting here playing around with a couple of settings that they keep asking me to adjust in this new software here. Hopefully my connection, it says my connection is poor, but we're going to keep on trying to move with it until we can get where we want to get, because it's really not telling me anything, saying something about the keyframe rate. The software I use is something I've been using for a while, but when used in conjunction with other programs, it's passing the video along to the other software. But let's just stay on track with the COVID-19 and just some of the things I wanted to address. I got a little list here. For all the non-believers that are out here screaming, oh, this is all fear. They're just using fear to get you to do this and to do this and do this, which I find to be absolutely ridiculous. So far, 30 million people have applied for unemployment. This is as much as during the Great Depression. Over 62,000 people in America have died, which is more than the Vietnam War, which took place from 1955 to 1975. That's 2 decades. We're talking a few months here. I don't know where people are getting these ideas that this is a game, this is a joke. You're seeing people dying all over the place, but it doesn't seem to be registering to some people, especially a lot of the Trump supporters. We are really going to have to question Trump's leadership. And now that he's trying to blame this on China and, okay, if they would have did this and if they would have did this, I shut down the borders in enough time. No, you shut it down for your own political reasons. You signed to deal with China with your own political reasons. The market tanked out. You're trying to use this now, being scared that this is going to be a political hot potato now. And you're trying to scurry around saying, oh, this is great. I mean, we're in full control of this. Everything's going to be great. Don't worry. We've got it under control. Well, that speech that you were given months ago has turned out to be totally false. It's not under control, but you're still pushing these people and these governors, just like out in California. They let the beach be open. All these people were out there. A lot of gagging. Today had to close it. Down in Texas, similar things. What's the big rush? We understand the economy is tanking, but if more people are dying and things start to spike back up, how bad is that going to look? I made a post yesterday. Why don't you just write, okay, for the love of money on everybody's tombstone that dies after you made these choices to open back up? For the love of money, you thought it's unbearable to you all that have never struggled to pay your rent or struggled to get your light bill and all this. You've been living comfortable all this time, and now you're discomfortable. Now you're scared, and now you're seeing what it means for a lot of other people to do what they need to do. I'm sorry, people. I'm just up here looking at these rates, trying to give you all the best experience with this new software. Anytime you get new software, it's just some things you need to learn. So everybody's in this rush to open back up, and I think one of the biggest concerns were a lot of the things that are being authorized to open right now are inside the black community, which is a contradiction to us having the highest death rate. Up to 72% of the cases were black people. That's a problem, right? Or at least it should be looked at as a problem. Okay, let's go ahead and open those nail salons back up and those barber shops. And to be quite honest, a lot of those places didn't stop doing what they were doing anyway. My shop is right next to a barber shop. and it really hasn't slowed down too much. The traffic is still in and out. And that's everybody just taking a chance. Me, I don't know how my hair looks, but I cut it myself. And I'm going to cut it myself until I feel comfortable. One of the governors got on TV yesterday and says, well, just because we're authorizing people to open it up, you use your own judgment whether to go or not. You know, because the revenue, the taxes and things that pay for a lot of the city and county services are not being generated. So that's their big rush to get back into it. We got to get back in your pockets. We got to get back to taxing you, and we got to get back to making this money. So we need you to take chances as well. I often talk now that this situation has now officially said reparations for black people totally out of the question. It will never be discussed again. Why can't we discuss it? Because we spent over $3 trillion already trying to get this back in order for the United States of America. So now you Negroes are officially America as far as we're concerned. Don't talk to us about anything else. We got people dying. That's when they'll turn around and say, we got people dying. This will be the excuse. How can you be so selfish when people are dying? But on the other flip hand of the coin, people aren't dying that much. You know, let's get this economy open back up. Let's get back to doing what we do. They've got a combination of a couple of new drugs, but they're not new drugs. One is remdesivir. It was originally designed for the Ebola, and they've gotten some positive testing from that. But they're still far away. They're like, this is not a cure. This is something that may help with the recovery process. And it's only going to be given to the most sick of the people. Just like only the most sick people will get put on a ventilator. But if you get put on that ventilator, the chances are 80% of the people that go on the ventilator don't make it. So those aren't good odds. But let's go here. Let's rush and reopen this because Trump says we can do this. I don't know who is still listening to this dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we all have to make our own judgments. I didn't do a lot of delivery stuff myself. I worked in restaurants for about 8 years. I'm not a big fan of the delivery service and people handling my food. So probably not going to be doing any Uber or Grubhub. I know they got to work too, and God bless everyone that does use those services. My shop I've got open on a limited schedule right now myself because the library in my district is closed, so a lot of the students that depended on that to do printing and things like that, they can't print. Someone has got a computer problem, they can't do it. So right now, for the next few weeks, I'll just be phasing back into my regular schedule. I'll just add 2 more hours every week. Right now we're at 9 to 1. Next week will be 9 to 3, then 9 to 5, and then we'll go back to 7 a.m. to 5, and then we'll go back to 7 a.m. to 6:30. So over the next few months going into June, hopefully as the numbers start to come down, which they have not come down, according to the specifications that they were looking for, would be a steady decrease over 14 days of new cases and deaths, where we would hit that plateau and start going down. Now they're saying screw all that. Screw all the stuff with this going down and this going down. Let's just get out here and do what the hell we want to do. It's very scary. It's very frightening because for some strange reason I feel we're going to suffer more in that scenario, as we always suffer more with any scenario that goes on right now in America. Now they're saying, well, we're going to be doing more testing in black neighborhoods, and we're going to offer this, but we're only doing so many tests a day, and these testing facilities are way out. Now, you got all these people saying it's not that serious. I happen to have friends that work in hospitals. It is that serious. If my friend says, look, man, we moving bodies, we ain't got no place to put the bodies, people are dying, it's getting to me, I don't know if I can take it. Just like the doctor that committed suicide. She said, we're turning people away at the door. We're making decisions on who can live and die. But she took an oath. She contracted the COVID-19 herself. And then, I guess rather than just say, I quit, I can't take it anymore, and endure the shame from her colleagues, she killed herself. Somehow maybe she thought that was going to give her some type of honor. So I don't want to hear people talking about, oh, the numbers are fudged. Okay, nobody's fudging 62,000 deaths. Nobody's fudging 230,000 deaths worldwide. Where everybody didn't die from COVID. Well, sometimes it's just complications to COVID aggravated situations that you might have had. Diabetes, heart disease, and things like that may have been aggravated by the COVID, causing you to die. It would still be considered a COVID-related death. But I'll be generous. Say, okay, we got 230,000 dead worldwide. I'll give you 30,000. That still leaves us 200,000 dead. This 2020, we're all screaming, this is the year of vision coming up. It's going to be great. This is going to be incredible. We started out the year with David Stern thing. Then Kobe and his daughter and those other people getting killed in a helicopter accident. Then we got hit with the COVID. 2020 just don't seem to be a good year yet, do it? Maybe it means that this was the year that God was going to get your attention and get you to refocus your vision. Get you to refocus what we're supposed to be doing here on this planet as people. I know we talk a lot about white man this and white man that, and that's all going to continue until we get some fair standing ground, which we don't have right now. So we're not going to skip everything and be la-li-la like Condoleezza Rice said the other day. Don't call people racist. Okay, what do you call racist? Oh, that's just a mean word. Okay, yeah, slave is a mean word too. Unfair practices are mean words. So all types of mean words that have been laid upon us that we have had to accept over time. And if you're a racist, then I need to call you a racist. I just need to get that on out so we are clear where the lines are drawn with you, Uncle Sammy, as you fly your Confederate flag and talk about your heritage. Now, if your heritage is slavery, that's a problem. We don't have to shut up. We don't have to not call you on your racist behavior. Just don't have to do it. So that's ridiculous, Condoleezza Rice. We're not at the Kumbaya moment in the world. But where we are at is asking black people to really reflect and look at what is going on and what is being permitted and take, we can now take account and say we're probably closer now in economic stature than we've ever been. Because all those people, your bosses and things that had jobs and they were over you, now they don't have jobs either. So what's the difference between a black man with no job and a white man with no job? Same thing. The white man's probably going to get the job first when it goes back. So not much has changed right now except the banking situations and who gets the money, and small businesses still trying to scrape up a little money while the big businesses, Ruth Chris and Lakers and all that, just get tens of millions. Then they get embarrassed to give the money back, but that money's not going directly into the new fund that was put up because that money has to be reallocated. So even if they get $200 million back, they got to go through Congress and everything and reallocate that money back out to the system. They ran out of money for the small businesses. Now I'm starting to see a lot of other things popping up for the small businesses. I don't want a loan. If it says grant, yeah, cool. Loans have stipulations in them. They're saying be careful with these loans because if you can't meet the requirements after 2 months, that's going to become a full-fledged loan with full charges and interest. Don't be deceived. If you ain't making the money to pay that loan back, don't take the money. That's all I'm saying here. So, we just wanted to get on and touch base about this COVID-19, let everybody know that we are fully aware of what's going on, but we don't want to rush to death. We're just going to stay prayerful, and we're going to do what we can to maintain in our home and business life and in our community. And we're going to continue to love each other as black people in this world. So on that note, as we always say, let me see if I can get this right. Love, peace, soul. We out of here.
Step out of the car.
I have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Now
If you're woman, ain't no revolutionary should persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. Should be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out. You got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them full clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you wanna be saved. Are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga.